Okay, so today we want to take a look at how to put password protection on your Google form. It's a process called response validation. So what we'll do is if we have an exam or a test here, what we'll do is we'll create a question that's going to require a very specific response in order for the person to proceed to the next section. Okay, so here we have a form, and I'm going to always start with what is your name, okay, which is definitely going to be a short answer response, and I'm going to make that required question. And then the next question I'm going to say is, what is today's password? Okay, and through the AI, it automatically becomes a short answer question. So please make sure that this says short answer, and we do need to make this required. And then we're going to go to these three dots down the bottom right hand corner. And when I click on it, it allows us to make a further description, and we will use that in a moment, and also the response validation. So I'm going to click on response validation. So here we get to decide what kind of password this is going to be. I recommend saying regular expression. And then instead of it being contains, I want to say that it matches. And then I put in the password where it says pattern. So all caps, I'll say 7654. And you need to put in, this is a must, you need to put in an error message here. Okay, now before we actually test this out, this is where I want to go back down to the three dots, and I want to add a description. And so I'll click on description, and you'll notice that we get a little bit more space for us to continue this description up top here, the text. All right, so see where it says description, and often in here I put in a little bit of a tip. So all caps. All right, and we could give a description like all caps and 4 numbers, or we could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 characters, whatever you'd want in here. But that's what I would use for the description. For the answer key, because this is a quiz, I would say this is not worth any points. And then this is important that you then create a second section. So basically the person who is starting this will be able to type in their name, and then they have to put in this password to go to the next section. So I'm going to add a section. And this section here is going to be your question section. And we can add a question. And just to make this simple, we'll say there's our question. Okay, so let's take a look what this looks like now. So for someone, now I did put on, in terms of the settings, I did say that I was going to shuffle the questions, and so that's why the name is actually below the password. Okay, so type that in there, and if I start to type, and if I click on next, it says this is not correct. So if I go back and I hit next, still not correct. And then I remember it says all caps. And you'll notice that as soon as they type in the password correctly, it says this is not correct, will disappear. So now that the password is correct and they have a name, we can hit next, and we go to the next section, which would be our question section. All right, and then we can hit submit, and you're done. And that's how we put on a password. Once the students are finished their exam or test, what you'll want to do is you'll want to change that password. So you'll want to go back into the editing mode of that form. So you might have to go into this through your Google Drive or Google Classroom so that we can make some changes. Then go back to the question that had our response validation. When you click on it, go again to where we had our original password, and then change it. And as soon as you are done, it says saving at the very top, and you're good to go. All right. Have a good day.